Greetings, salutations, internet fans of podcasts. Anyone that enjoys an adult beverage, I hope you're here to have one with us. My name is Lee. Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Curveballs. As usual, which we like it this way, we got a full panel. We're here with Tyler, Jim, and Pat. And gentlemen, before we get rolling, because we just got where I live, we just got a bunch of snow last night. Like yesterday, it rained, and then it froze, and I got about 6 inches of snow out there. So I went and got. What I'm drinking today is a winter ale from Big Sky Brewery over in Missoula. It's called Powder Hound. It's a 6.5% winter ale, but I'm telling you, it's very light, very tasty. And yeah, I'll be having a bunch of these today. But anyway, guys, kind of a quieter weekend. I mean, we've got a lot of all-star stuff going on, but as far as big games, the Super Bowl's a week away. Who's got something they want to start us off with? But first, let me say that, because I forgot, gentlemen, I apologize. We want to give a mad shout out to all of our men and women in uniform, past, present, foreign, domestic, and all first responders, my son being one of them. Thank you guys for doing such a tough job and letting us do what we do. So who wants to start us off with something good? What you got, boys?
I think I'd like to go with I think first I'd like to talk about this All-Star weekend in the NFL, the Pro Bowl and stuff. I really liked it. The centers had a competition that I watched. It seems like they're just including everybody, not just the skill guys, but I really like this format of it's just a number of skills and then a flag football game. And the reason I like this flag football game is because, let's face it, the guys put the pads on for the All-Pro game. Nobody was, it was half speed. It just became very redundant and not even fun to watch. I like this flag football game. These guys go way harder. It's flag football, and so they get to showcase their skills a little more. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's I think going to a flag football format, it just ups the effort of everybody on the field. And you're right, Jim. You're 100% right. And we're just now talking about it. But in past years, I've been watching the Pro Bowl just thinking this is dumb. Like, why even have this game? You have quarterbacks airing it out to a Keyshawn Johnson that is like 40 yards downfield and nobody's covering him. Nobody's even running with him. Everybody just let him catch it. And then he runs it in the end zone. It's like, so what's the point even having that? I mean, it's okay if you're a Keyshawn Johnson fan or if you're a fan of the team that he plays for, maybe, but it just looked silly. It's like completely pointless. And I think going to a flag football format, well, now the guys they're trying to get your flag. They're trying to win. The effort's there. They don't have to worry about injury because they're not getting blasted by Micah Parsons coming over the middle or anything like that. So I think
or Sean Taylor when he hit Brian right. Mormon or whatever his name was, the punter. Yes. I think is that the turning point though of when the Pro Bowl started to die off because guys were like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not
going out there. That's not going to happen in an exhibition football game.
Okay. Here's the thing: was that the turning point, or was that the turning point where players start saying, "Yeah, I'm not playing in the Pro Bowl"?
Well, I think that's what it was because it turned into it's in my contract if I get selected to the Pro Bowl that I get an extra amount of money.
Just have to get selected.
Yeah, you don't have
so
to.
You don't even have to go play. So I didn't, Jimmy.
My ankle.
Yeah, what about the players that still? Well, what about all the players that still had to play the Super Bowl? You mean to tell me they're going to go and ball out in the Pro Bowl? Get out of here, man.
They're not even there. Yeah.
No, they don't even go. Usually, even in the past, if they were in the Super Bowl when they moved it ahead of the Super Bowl, then they're like, no, I'm preparing for the big game. This don't mean shit. Thanks for selecting me, but I'm going to be working out for the Super Bowl. Right. Those guys, that's been done. But I did not participate in this only because I've walked away from that game years ago because it was dog shit. I mean, there was nothing worth watching.
It was comical.
I had better things to do. And now I hear all this stuff and I'm like, I was more into the NHL All-Star game.
Yeah,
And
that was neat.
that to me was absolutely insane. The things that these guys can do, I don't even think I could skate around the rink more than once or twice. And watching the speed and all of the things, the skills that these guys have. But then again, it's $1 million to the winner. Austin Matthews got $1 million for winning the overall skills competition. And watching that, I don't even know how these guys do it. But you know what? I will try, Jimmy. If you say that the flag football is really cool, maybe I'll try it next time. I kind of avoided it.
You know what? I'm just saying, I'm just saying it's better. The guys look like they're having a lot more fun. I'm just saying it's better than what we had.
Oh, which is a dubious honor. That's like winning the toaster. I mean, really, because what was before was just, like you said, Lee, was dog shit. It's like this is dumb as hell. But I do think it's more than just a dubious. I mean, like Jim said, it is exciting, man. I mean, guys are making the effort. They're trying to get those flags. You can still see the quickness. There's effort. Before, there's no effort. Guys are standing around when a pass is being thrown. It's like this is dumb.
So you think across the board, we all think, because honestly, I didn't participate in it, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh yeah, I watched it. It was so great, because I didn't. Because I've walked away from it.
You guys think the flag football games today? I think, right?
Yeah, the flag football
just been like
today.
Yeah.
Oh,
but they had a number.
Maybe I will.
They had a number.
Accepted.
They've had a number of skills competitions. Like I said, they've got centers involved. Trying to hit, snapping through holes. For points.
Amazing.
And so it's not just the quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs that are out there showing their speed and agility and stuff. Now you're involving other people.
Oh, that's cool. I'll check out the flag football. Okay.
So do you think if the Senior Bowl is smart, wouldn't they be promoting, or like the USFL or the XF, whatever that league is now? Why would
now it's the UFL.
This weekend? Yeah, this weekend should be their kickoff weekend, right?
Yeah,
because nobody's watching the Pro Bowl anymore. It's not even a game anymore.
Right.
Correct.
And or like the Senior Bowl was on. Like that.
Did you watch any of the Senior Bowl?
Deal. I watched some of it.
I watched some of it too.
So Bo Nix didn't play.
Penix didn't play.
Penix didn't play.
Rattler barely played. The big names really didn't get to see play anyway.
Yeah.
In the Senior Bowl. But I think it's a great opportunity for guys. You get some FCS guys in there, you get some lesser colleges guys in there. And so they get to be a little more individual and showcase their skills at these Senior Bowls.
Who was the because you would know, who was the cornerback that had the pick six, like 83-yard return from Washington? It was a Husky, wasn't he? I can't remember his name, but it was like 83-yard pick six or something. That's part that I didn't see. I heard about it, but yeah. I mean, the big thing for them is just being showcased so that people can see them.
Back to what you're saying, Lee, I want to comment on that NHL All-Star skills competition. And I think NHL is a lot different in the other major sports, in that when you watch a game on TV, like, you can appreciate how fast McKinnon is. You can appreciate how some of these, the skating ability and the shooting ability and even the blocking ability of the defense, you can appreciate all that. But it doesn't, I feel like, for me anyways, when you see them in the skills competition, that's when you really get to see how talented these hockey players are. Because, in a game, I feel like they do it so effortlessly. It's in real time. It looks impressive, but it doesn't really give you a chance to stop and really understand how. Yeah,
but you got 10 guys on the ice flying at each other, so it's hard to see it. So
that's my point. Yeah. So when you see him in these skills competition, that's when you really like, Jesus, he just hit that. He just made that puck go 102 mile an hour slap shot. Jesus, man. I mean,
Cale Makar, man. I was just
it
like,
really
holy
gives
shit.
It really brings it together. Like, okay, I knew that guy was good, but damn. I mean,
but think about that 102.56 mile an hour slap shot, and you're a defenseman, and you're getting down to block it.
Oh,
And
my
I know
God.
you got pads, bro, but
And that puck
102.5
is frozen. That puck is
Yes.
is a piece of ice, you know.
solid.
Well, but here's the thing: is that how do you appreciate the goalies now?
Oh my
And
God.
not only that, not only the speed of that slap shot, but when they do the accuracy, and them guys are hitting every circle.
Oh my
They
God.
hit
Isn't that
anywhere
just
they want to
bananas?
hit. And
That is
yes,
just
there's no
stupid.
defenseman. There's no defenseman in their way. They're not being. But can you appreciate these goalies? These guys are hitting what they want to hit at 102 miles an hour.
Yeah, top shelf.
You have to be some sort of crazy to decide in your lifetime that I want to be a goalie. I want to be a
Well,
professional
if you
goalie,
look
man.
at traditionally goalies in hockey weren't very big. They were fast. Had to
Right,
be quick.
Fast.
Now you look at these goalies nowadays, there's some big son of bitches in the net. And that's
You
why.
got some big corn-fed dudes back there blocking the pipes.
Yeah,
That's
they
why.
can
That's
move that are
why.
nimble.
Yeah.
Super nimble on their skates. I mean, you look at well, we've talked about it in the past. Look at some of these Mario Lemieux, it comes to mind. Some of these hockey players, you think, why weren't you a defensive end in football? I mean, some of
these guys are big.
Oh my God, some of these guys are just enormous. It's like, man, I feel like you should be crushing a quarterback somewhere in the NFL, man. I mean, they're big.
Instead they're crushing defensemen or
yeah,
wingers and shit in hockey. I mean, it's not much difference.
right,
It's
yeah,
violent. I mean,
yeah.
you can't say that it, and I mean you can say, man, that guy had been a great linebacker.
Oh,
But on the other hand, he is a linebacker.
yeah,
Just in a
pretty
different
much.
Sport.
Just on ice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
best part
crazy. These guys is a
when
physicality and the skill that the NHL guys got. And I'm gonna just add one other thing, and then you guys take it from there. The NBA, and I think everybody that's ever listened to us know how we feel about that, or the NBA, and just how it could be tweaked a little bit and stuff. But the NBA has been the only major sport of the four to not implement something that makes it worth playing. Okay. We get to see 160 to 170 in the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game. We get to see uncontested dunks. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what the dunk contest is for, in my opinion. But so baseball, and you guys remember this, remember when it was a tie and they ran out of pitchers, so they couldn't go any further.
Right.
I do.
So Bud Selig, who, say what you want about him, he was the commissioner of baseball at the time. And he said, okay, this shit's got to stop. We're not going to do. So now the baseball game, the All-Star game, means something. Whoever wins, they get the home field.
Yeah.
For the World Series.
For the World Series.
Something. Now this football thing has become fun to watch. The NHL All-Star game, now that this format that they've got the 4 teams that they draft.
Oh man, I love it.
Semifinals and finals. Dude, it's like a little 3-day tournament.
It is.
Yes.
It's cool as shit.
Yeah.
So it's like the Stanley Cup Finals, but scaled down because it's all the superstars, man, on the ice.
Right.
It is super cool to watch.
It is. They've got a great format. Hats off to the NHL for doing it that way. Hats off for the NFL for seeing a problem that needed fixed. And baseball, they did that years ago. Just like to see NBA do something a little bit, maybe like the NHL, draft 5 teams or 4 teams, whatever.
Well,
so NBA All-Stars a week away, right? Are we about a week away from the All-Star game? Week and a half, something like that. It's like the 18th or something.
So let me pose a question. What if the NBA went to the same format, Jim? What if the NBA said, okay, winner of this All-Star game, home field advantage,
home court advantage? Yeah,
for the league.
Something.
I mean, I think you'd have some people pissed because we just won 68 games and we have to go. Well, maybe put in a better effort in the All-Star game. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
that's a tough slope to go down, because
it is.
If you get some team that barely makes the playoffs, and then they actually find a way to get to the finals, and because you might have lost 18 games all season, and then you're thinking we're the shit, come to our house. Oh wait, but we didn't win the All-Star game, dude. That would be tough.
Okay, but here's the only thing I'm going to say. If you go out there and win 66 games and have the best record, am I right or wrong? You should be able to win away, right?
You would think, yeah, but I mean, it's still it goes against how it's always been.
I know
that
we're
all talking new
reason,
stuff.
Yeah, for that reason, I don't think you'd ever fly. I think the players, union would thumbs down on that. Hey, has anybody else heard the rumblings that there might be that LeBron James might get traded? Have you guys heard any of that?
Okay, so I was watching the Get Up or whatever the other morning before work, and a guy, who's that guy? Han, I don't know. He's one.
Okay, you said that. I go Hans Gruber from Die Hard, but no, it's not that guy.
Yeah,
no, I don't think it was that guy.
But
it wasn't that guy. No.
He threw it out there. Okay, he said that's the best thing the Lakers could do because that's the only capital they've got.
Right.
And for this not to hurt them for the next 5-10 years, if they ever want to get back on track and get back track soon. And so he threw that out there. And so then it just blew up in social media about how, the Lakers are looking to trade LeBron James. And
I didn't know. That's just what I heard.
So I watched the part and he was like, listen, people, calm down. And he even said it. Calm down. They're not going to do that. But
they can't.
Yeah, but if they want to, Lakers ever want to get back on track in a reasonable amount of time, this is what they should do, and that's what he said. And holy shit!
And it's just like it's like what we talked about with like Mike Trout, right? And the Angels. We're like, what should they do? And like Ohtani, obviously, no crystal ball, but he was not going to go back and be an Angel.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, of course, we can sit here with the biggest names and go, well, what would they get in return for this guy? But it doesn't. I don't think it holds any fucking weight. His one son goes to USC. His other son plays basketball in Southern California. With LeBron
doesn't want to go
a basketball player. I mean,
do you know that? Right? You know that?
I don't think he wants to go. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He's come out and said he doesn't want to be traded. LeBron wants to stay in LA for his family. Is what is coming out of LA.
So,
but I mean, think about that. He's at the tail end of his career too. I mean, the guy's done everything.
So there's another aspect of all this that none of us are talking about. Tyler came close to bringing it up. I'll bring it up now.
Good job, Tyler. Good job. You came close.
Even in the event that Lakers decided to go that route, which, okay, we can agree that would be their best solution. Who's trading for LeBron? And what do you imagine they would give up for LeBron? Okay, I'm not saying he's not great. I'm not saying he's not historically great. I'm not saying that he won't come to your team right now and make your team a top 5 contender. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is, what can you imagine that a team would be willing to give up for a guy like that on the tail end of his career? Like, what would be
it would have to be a team that's ready right now, one player that LeBron James away from just absolutely running through the playoffs.
I agree.
On the other hand, an NBA title is never guaranteed. I don't give a shit who you have on your team, and we've seen that. We've seen these teams with big threes and shit, even big fours, that just don't make it, or they get beat in the finals or whatever. We've seen that.
Sure.
But it'd have to be a team like that. And I think you're right. Yeah, what he was saying was, they would get a lot back, draft capital, but would they?
That's what I'm saying. And you're right, Jim.
That's tough.
It would be a team that's right there, up to and touching, right? It would be a team. But, okay, if it's that team, they're not going to give up an important part of that rotation. They're not going to give up somebody that's going to, they're not going to take 2 steps back to go 1 step forward, right? So you're thinking there'd have to be draft capital. Well, if a team is up to and touching, like right there contending, how much draft capital are they going to have, man?
Well, they won't. There won't, because their window, unless their window is just open for that particular playoff run, or their window is open for 2-3 years. Why would you
No, I honestly think in that position, he couldn't go to a team that's right there. He couldn't go to the Celtics or the Nuggets.
No,
he literally would have to go to a team that is not doing very well and has a lot of draft capital. I mean, is your OKC Thunder gonna drop a bunch of draft picks to bring him?
So that's what I was going to bring up, and that's that you beat me. You cut me off of the pass. That's what I wanted to bring up, and I don't know. I'm on the fence, but let's say OKC with what they have right now, they've got 8 first-round picks over the next 4 years. Could they bring in and their weakness right now, and it's well noted. I'm a huge OKC fan. Love the Thunder. They're amongst the worst rebounding teams in the league. And they get by, they make up for it because of the incredible defense and the shooters they have on that team, super athletic. But they want to get better rebounding. Well, LeBron fits the profile. This is a guy that's going to come in and give you 8 a night. Easy. Sometimes he's going to give you 14.
I would love that for you. If
I
LeBron
do
James
too.
brought
He's the
if
biggest-
LeBron James brought a title to OKC, I love that for you,
Oh,
Patrick.
man, talk
Biggest
about-
Oh, fuck, I
LeBron
love that.
hater on the planet would own
I
a LeBron
fucking
James
hope
Thunder
so. I
jersey.
fucking hope so.
That would not happen. That would not happen. I don't give a fuck if you brought that.
yeah.
I would not be rocking that jersey.
Dude, this is
But-
so funny because
And
you
a
are the
number
biggest
6
LeBron hater.
OKC
I
jersey.
am, man. I don't like the guy. I have no problem appreciating he is the most athletically gifted athlete that's ever graced the planet Earth. I've got no problem admitting that. I mean, hands down. I'm talking football, hockey. You can go down whatever sport. Nobody has been athletically gifted as LeBron James. No problem admitting that. I can't stand what the guy stands for. I'm not going to get into that. What I'm saying is, here's my question is, do you guys think, I mean, do you think, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. Let me just say that. But
No.
I feel like OKC is one of the only teams that could say, here's 3 first-round picks. Let's go. And I feel like with what they have, LeBron James would be like, dude, title bound, right? I mean, do you
Title
think
bound.
I just want to see you become a
Listen,
big.
you put
I
LeBron
pray.
James-
I pray that LeBron somehow finds his way to the OKC Thunder just so I can
God.
watch you, so I can watch you deal with. Oh, LeBron's the greatest. Oh my God, did you see what he did?
And
Instead of hating on him.
so now you're talking
Go flop,
bullshit because that will
LeBron.
never.
Go flop,
I don't give a fuck if they win 10 titles. That will never come out of my fucking mouth.
Hey, if that were to happen, which guys, I don't think I think OKC
It's
is
not, but damn.
I think OKC is being run too well. And
Yeah.
LeBron can also come in and turn a locker room that they've got a really good thing. He could.
Super young.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If that were to happen and the Thunder win the NBA title, dude, I want to see a big fat fucking crow in front of you and taking bites. And I'm just saying that
1,000%.
we all
buddy.
kind of feel the same way about LeBron. Extremely gifted. He's one of the top 3 greatest ever. But we all agree how we feel about LeBron James and the flopping and the things in it. But they come back, they do go get him, and they win that title, dude. They're a big fat raven right in front of you, fucking taking
Yep,
over.
and you're gonna be just mowing that dirty bird. It's gonna happen.
I will never live that motherfucker down, man. And you know,
I will buy you a LeBron jersey if he goes to the Thunder. I will freaking gift wrap it and drop it off at your house. I'll be like, here you go, buddy.
It reminds me, listen, it reminds me of a joke I heard several years ago. Everybody listening to the show is free to retell this, but you know, the definition of mixed emotions, right, is watching your mother-in-law drive over a cliff in your brand new Porsche. Oh shit, yay. Oh shit, yay. So that's how I would feel. That's how I would feel if LeBron James came to OKC. I'd be like, fuck, yay.
Can you say that again? Because I have not heard that one before, but that's pretty damn good.
So
Mother-in-law.
the definition of mixed emotions is watching your mother-in-law drive over a cliff in your brand new Porsche.
I'm gonna use that, dude. I'm gonna fucking use that. I appreciate that one. That's insane. But that's really not nice. I shouldn't say I'm gonna use that. But
Listen, I'm sure there's a lot of good mother-in-laws out there, so no offense to anybody that took offense.
1,000%. Hey, real quick, guys, because I know we're on a bye weekend for the NFL, right? Because we got the Super Bowl next weekend. And Tyler, I'm sorry that you took the day after the Super Bowl off. Dude, there's no way. I mean, we got it completely wrong. I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest thing for me out of the championship games, AFC, NFC, I going in, man, I was hoping Detroit, and they came out strong. The Lions did. And then they took a shit, right? But I changed when that game started because after Mahomes won again and beat the Ravens, sorry, Tyler, I completely changed. I'm like, nope, I'm now rooting for the Niners. I literally flipped that quick because I'm so sick. This is Mahomes' 4th Super Bowl out of the last 5 years.
Right.
I'm over it, man. I'm over it. And even Tom Brady, all of his rings, they were actually spread out. He had a few in a row, or not a row, but you know what I mean, quick. And then there was years, and then he did it again. I don't even know if the NFL is like trying to recreate that with Kansas City. I don't know, but what's your guys' take? I mean, this game, you got Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. That dude is going to get freaking paid this offseason.
On Brock Purdy, I got to bring this up. Do you guys remember we talked about it? How Cam Newton came out and he blasted Tua and he blasted Purdy and said these guys are average quarterbacks or system quarterbacks. There's nothing special about them. Has anybody here heard Purdy's response to that?
Sure have.
You want to talk about actually destroyed him. Brock Purdy came out and said, I might not be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, but what I do know is there's 90 quarterbacks in the NFL on NFL rosters right now, and he's not one of them. Boom, bitch.
Boom.
Yeah. So how about you SDSU, Cam? One good year, man. One good year. Fuck off.
What it started out as is, of course, Cam Newton saying how they're game managers. Brock Purdy just a game, and he's not. It wasn't top 10 quarterback in the league. He wasn't even top 10 on his home team.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Is what Cam Newton said.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy came back and hit it perfect.
Yeah.
He just very calmly. Very, I thought classy.
Oh, it's super classy, man. I mean, just talk about shutting them up.
Well, I know that there are 90. What I do know is that there's 90 quarterbacks on NFL rosters, and Cam isn't one of them.
Yeah. So you take that for what you want.
He's not going to be one either. He's not. Unless the Ravens need someone to back up Lamar, because then, Tyler can have Cam sitting back there.
His last 3 years in the NFL, Cam's last 3 years, he was god awful.
Dog shit.
He was like the lowest rated quarterback, right?
It was a dumpster fire. Fire. He was not good. I agree. But again, I give Purdy all the credit in the world for being like very, very eloquently, I'm going to basically tell you to go fuck yourself because you're unemployed, which is basically what he did.
Yeah.
But in a classy way.
Super
it's
classy.
Like bringing you into the office to terminate you. And I'm like, you've done such a great job, but we just don't have room for you anymore. So you got to go. No, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't see how that all went down, but that's actually really cool.
It was awesome.
Brock Purdy, I'm not sure that maybe since Brady, have I seen a young quarterback that he doesn't make bad decisions. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he'll take off running out of the pocket, eyes still downfield. His footwork's impeccable. His footwork's unbelievable. Going inside the game a little bit. But he takes off to go get out of the pocket. By the way, he's a lot more athletic than people think he give him credit for.
Oh, big time.
The guy can move. And but anyway, his eyes still downfield, and all of a sudden he makes a throw that he throws somebody open, and there's another 12, 14 yards. I really enjoy watching this kid play.
Yeah. And
he's got a big future.
Yeah, and something I noticed in the NFC Championship game, and I don't watch the Niners, I'm not a Niners fan, so I have no investment in any of that. But being on a big stage like he was, I feel like there's millions of other people that can probably share my same feeling about this. I didn't realize he had the wheels he did, and this is not for me to say that he's Lamar Jackson fast, because he's not, but he's a lot faster than I thought he was. Him getting out and running, like, I just didn't realize he can move like that. And so I think that's something that gets passed over is he's a lot more athletic.
He is, but so I got a question because bringing that up, and you're 1,000% correct. I want to know, Tyler, Ravens fan, why Lamar? Why did they completely go away from everything that worked for them in that game? I mean, they literally went away from everything.
Yeah.
And
they ran the ball. The running backs ran the ball 6 times in the second half.
6 times.
And it's like, guys, I mean, why change the formula when you're killing everybody?
There's another element to that, Lee. There's another element to that. So I don't know if you guys seen this statistic, and this is mind-blowing. There's 2 parts. So the first part is that's super mind-blowing to me, is out of all the teams in the playoffs right now, Kansas City, it has by far the worst ranked rushing defense. That's the first part. Like the very worst rushing defense out of every team in the playoffs. Secondly, their rush defense is like 19th. So you could add 8 more teams to the playoffs and they'd still have the worst rushing defense in the NFL. So that's first of all, why wasn't your game plan to run the ball 42 times? You couple that with the fact that Ravens offense led the league in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and rushing yards per carry through the season. And then I'm going to end it with this, and you can make.
I feel like we're putting salt in a wound on Tyler. I kind of feel bad, but I'm curious.
I get it, dude. I fucking watched the game. I mean,
there's a question though. Here's the final part that I want to bring up, and you guys can take it from here. In the press conference, there wasn't one reporter, not from the Baltimore Sun, not from any local newspapers, that stuck a microphone in Jim Harbaugh's face and asked him, how come you guys only ran it 11 times in the entire game? 14 times. Like nobody asked him about that. That was, I can promise you that was a no-fly zone question. Why? Why? That would have been my first question. Like, Jim, you're a great coach.
John,
you're a great coach. Like your team had a great year. You were historically great running the ball. Why? Why? And that wasn't even a question. Nobody asked him that.
Okay, so we have an ultra red Super Bowl now. I mean, Chiefs, Niners. Where do you guys go with that? Who do you think can come out of this? Because I swear to God, guys, I thought what we're talking about, the Ravens would do what they do, and we'd be sitting here going, okay, Ravens are going to just get that ring.
What got me was the amount of time that the Baltimore defense spent on the field.
Right.
And they allowed the Kansas City offense and Patrick Mahomes. Listen, think what you want of the guy, but he's not the guy you want on the field, man.
I agree.
So the whole game plan blew me away. And of course, some bells started going off in my head, and shit like this. It's like, why is this happening? Baltimore's such a better team all the way around than Kansas City, and they just completely went away from everything they've done all year. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the national championship football game with Washington. Went completely away
from the game plan,
from everything they've done, what made them get there, and played Michigan's game. That's how I feel Baltimore did against Kansas City. They got right into a game with them. I don't know why.
Tyler, you're a lifelong Baltimore fan, and if anybody on the panel right now can make even a little bit of sense out of any of this, I mean, what's your take on it, man? How do you feel about that? Just nothing.
I feel the same. I mean, I'm a football fan before I'm a Ravens fan. That's. I think I can see it. I'm definitely not making any the NFL wants Mahomes in there so bad, dude. I think Lamar pissed down his fucking leg is what I think happened.
Okay, so that's what and
I think but there if you can go back and if he'd have tucked the ball and just took off and got 10 yards, got 15 yards at a time.
10 different times. 10 different times.
Like a bunch of different times, right? I think if you would have told me Kansas City was going to score 17 points, I'd have told you Baltimore beat them by fucking 20.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I was just going to say that because, but Lamar never took off. He never took off.
And he had all day.
And I'm like,
there was one time, if he'd have went around the end, it would have been 60 yards for a touchdown. Like, he'd have been gone.
That's right. Or even, but like 10, 15 yards. 10 yards. Yeah, 15 yards at a time, get down. Like he's always done.
He kept hitting the ball, looking around, and then you throw it into the turf. And I'm just sitting there going, what is happening? What am I watching?
Hey, it wasn't Mahomes being like all world, because the Chiefs didn't play that good. Nice, he did. He
made a couple,
and he's going to, but 17 points. I don't care who it is. You're in a championship game. If you're going to tell me that the Chiefs are only going to score 17, I think they're going to lose.
But
when you get to that level,
okay.
Yeah, have you guys seen how the Ravens coaching staff is just getting gutted?
Dude, decimated. Decimated.
Holy fuck.
But a couple things on that though, Lee. You know, listen, Mahomes didn't play horrible, not by any stretch. But let's pump a break on him, because here's the thing: there was a point in that game where he had like 19 completions for like 165 yards. So it wasn't like he was hitting receivers downfield. I mean, he was throwing 5-6 yard passes, and it was like, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. His completion percentage was up there, but he wasn't smoking the Baltimore defense by any stretch of imagination.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I said.
You know who was that was driving me nuts? Two guys. Pacheco, number one, ran the ball right down goddamn Ravens, and that was blowing me away. I'm going, wait a minute, this is this Ravens defense, man.
Right.
You just can't do that too. And then the other one, this was just blowing me away all game. So there were some teams that over the course of the regular season and even in the playoffs figured out a way, because Kelce is the guy. Figured 100%. Out a way. Shit, they were triple teaming.
Right.
Yep.
Travis Kelce, and he was not a factor. So now you're making MVS and Rice, and you're making these guys make these big plays, right?
Right.
And it wasn't their. That's not their formula. So you take Kelce out of the game, and teams were successful.
Right.
Why did Kelce have the game he fucking had? What was Baltimore?
That touchdown that Kelce caught though was a fucking Kyle Hamilton couldn't have been in a better spot. It was a fucking dime from Mahomes, back shoulder, put it in the only spot that Kelce was going to catch it.
I mean,
Kyle Hamilton. I think they thought Kyle Hamilton and the safeties that Baltimore has were going to be just fine on Travis Kelce, and it obviously didn't work.
Yeah, he just had a huge game after so many teams this year had kind of written a blueprint on how to shut down Kansas City and Travis Kelce, and
now Travis Kelce has the receptions record, right? Didn't he just didn't in that game he break Jerry Rice's record for receptions in the playoffs? Yes. Yeah, Kelce's a stud. He's that good.
He is a stud, but how do you let that happen? I would rather take my chances with Scantling or one of them guys, you know. And let's another thing is Zay Jones, bud. I understand you're a rookie.
Zay Flowers.
Sorry. Zay Flowers. Yep, you're right. Zay Flowers, you're a rookie, you're a young man, you've got a big future and stuff, but you've got to hold your emotions in check, especially making a mistake against a team like Kansas City. You can't do it.
But twice. I mean, back to back. I mean,
in the same drive. In the same drive.
Yeah.
So, but you can't. And that was a great play by the kid that knocked it out, Snead.
Of course. Yeah.
It was a great play that, you know,
so right
at the goal line. It was a great play on his part. It wasn't all Zay Flowers' fault, but the play before that was.
Hey, cocktails and curveballs exclusive. Around the board, all four of us, pick your winner of the Super Bowl. We got the Niners or the Chiefs. Where are you going? I'm not kidding, man. This is gonna be tough because we have not done well at this, gentlemen.
You know, so here's how I feel, man, and I feel like I'm cutting my own throat by saying this because I hate every bit about this, but I would love to see the Niners win it. But I think on this kind of a stage, I think you have to go to, to me, it's all going to come back. It's going to come down to your captain, your quarterback. And in a game of this magnitude where Mahomes just keeps fucking doing it, and Purdy is his first time being there, I just feel like it's going to come down to which quarterback plays better on a big stage, and how can you not pick Mahomes, man? I think Kansas City's going to win it, but I would like to see the Niners win it. So
that's kind of where I'm at, but I hope that the Niners, I mean, when you've got McCaffrey and they can run Deebo Samuel out of the backfield, run
Absolutely.
the goddamn football.
Right. Against a horrible defense, a horrible rushing defense. I mean, that's this. You want the blueprint to beat Mahomes? Keep him off the field. How do you do that? Just keep the ball, run the ball, keep running the fucking ball. If you 4th and 1, run it again. They're the 19th ranked rushing defense in the NFL for a fucking reason, man. Run the fucking ball. Just keep running, pound that fucking ball. You got McCaffrey. There's no reason why San Francisco should not be running the ball 50 times in the Super Bowl.
Well, and plus Purdy showed he's not afraid to run either.
No,
a lot of his runs in that championship game, dude, that was like, I'm going to fucking get these yards. He wasn't sliding 4 yards before he had to.
Right.
Motherfucker was diving head first. So I got to give Purdy credit there. So Tyler, who you going with? And you can't pick Baltimore because they didn't make it.
I don't even fucking care.
Yes, you do.
Stupid ass game.
Yes. Did you still take the day after the Super Bowl off?
Yeah, I still have it off.
So then that's okay. You got to watch it then.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I hope the 49ers win. I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the whole fucking shtick of the whole thing. I'm just tired of it.
Okay, so I'm actually,
Mahomes is undeniable. That's the thing that's so fucked up is like, as much as I want to say like, I hope the 49ers fucking blow them out. I hope Patrick Mahomes never sees another fucking Super Bowl again. At this rate, like, what an insane thing to say. Like, I'm smart enough to know that, like, motherfucker is just going to be in it for the rest of his career. Yeah. At this point, right? Like, for the next 10, is it feasible that in the next 10 years he's in 8 more AFC championship games?
Oh, he's for
like
championship,
he's like 7 in a row.
I expect him to be in 5 of the next 10 Super Bowls.
Right.
That's what I think of Mahomes. It's no different than Brady. Brady did the same goddamn thing, but Brady, he earned it. Mahomes is that good. It's okay. So I'm gonna give you my pick, and I honestly believe, guys, I think San Fran's taking this one. I literally do, and I'm gonna tell you why. Kyle Shanahan. Okay, this is not his first rodeo with being up at the top, right? And now you got Christian McCaffrey, and I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey right now looks like Christian McCaffrey his second year in the league since he got to San Fran. The dude is just leaving it all on the field. And I think exactly what we were talking about, they run the ball. I think they will outscore the Chiefs. And then that'll be a nice storyline next year for Mahomes that maybe he can go back.
You think it's going to be a high-scoring game then?
No, I don't know that it's going to be overly high-scoring. I think it'll be literally like probably about maybe, I don't know, 35-28, 35-30. You know what I mean? Somewhere in that
pretty
area.
high score. That's a
pretty fucking high-scoring game.
But I don't know if Shanahan does what he does, and he's an offensive-minded guy, man. You've seen all the people, our head coach of the Dolphins, come out of that tree. If they are smart and Purdy doesn't make mistakes, if they're running that ball, that opens up his passing game where he's not throwing too many risky passes. I honestly, I don't know if it'll be that high scoring, but I honestly think that the Niners are going to take this, guys. I really do.
No, I hope so. I hope so too. I just feel like Mahomes is. I have a really hard time seeing Brock Purdy outperform Mahomes, and he may not need to, Lee. Like you said, if they go in and just decide we're going to run the ball down your throat all game long, then that's a realistic situation where I think the Niners can not only win that game but run away from that game. But we're going to see if it comes down to quarterback against quarterback. Mahomes ain't losing this, man.
But here's the other thing. You've got the best running back in the NFL. And you've got that other weapon of him catching the football too.
Sure. Yep.
As well as Deebo Samuel out of the backfield, catching shorter passes and their yards after contact. But so that's got to be the game plan. It's got to be, I think, Samuel, McCaffrey, Kittle, and then if you've got a chance, Ayuk over the top, great.
Sure. Oh yeah.
but the Kittle, just keep that 10, 12 yards, a completion or even less. Let them guys get their runs after contact or their yards after contact. And for God's sake, give Christian McCaffrey the football. He doesn't fumble. He just makes plays.
Here, I'll sum it up best. This is the best way I can say it, Lee. And I think we're all saying the same thing, but this is like, there's no better illustration in how we feel about this Super Bowl than what I'm going to say right here. And I feel like everybody agrees with me on this. If Kansas City wins the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes is the Super Bowl MVP. If Niners win the Super Bowl, McCaffrey is the MVP. I really feel like that's how that's going to go down.
I think you're real close there. I think it's McCaffrey or Deebo Samuel.
Okay, so yeah, it's okay. Because
the only reason I'm saying is because Deebo Samuel is that goddamn talent, man.
But Deebo can. But I mean, nobody would be shocked if Deebo goes out there in yards from scrimmage, both receiving and running. He goes out there and throws up 186 yard from scrimmage game. Nobody's going to be surprised if he does that.
Nope.
No,
that's
not even a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Honestly, if the Niners, and my oldest son, Logan, he's a huge Niners fan, which God knows why. I tried to force feed him the Miami Dolphins and it didn't work.
Good for
both
him.
Of my kids, both of my kids. I tried to, but you know what?
Stay away from the fucking turquoise and orange. Jesus.
Dude, I go, you take away quarterback and tight end. You take away Mahomes and Kelsey. If you just eliminate quarterback, tight end, I compared talent on both teams. The Niners win, man. The Niners.
Yeah,
I think if you can do what we're talking about, you run the ball, and limit any potential mistakes that Purdy might make. But he's impressed the hell out of me. This kid being the last pick of the draft, where he's sitting right now is absolutely insane to me. So, I don't know. I think you're probably right as far as MVPs, but we'll wait and see. It's all coming up.
Is Purdy the next guy to get that big $300 million contract, or should we pump the brakes on that one just a little bit?
Pump the brakes on that one. It's not going to be like that.
It's his second year. They'll give him another year before they give him an extension.
Sure.
I mean, they might.
If they win a Super Bowl, they're extending him now.
I think
so. I mean, because he's still
yes.
Doesn't he have 2 more years on
Mr. Irrelevant doesn't sign a 5-year deal, dude.
No, I thought
the last pick of the draft doesn't sign that. Right, but irregardless, it doesn't matter. If the Niners win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, they would be absolute idiots if they didn't sign him.
I agree.
But their salary cap level is so high. How did they make that happen?
That's why I say I don't think they'll do it this year.
A good GM, though, but everybody knows there's a good GM. That salary cap you can manipulate that. I mean, Dolphins are $45 million over the cap. They're going to be well underneath it. There's guys you're going to release. There's you can renegotiate there's ways. A good GM can figure out the salary cap. So
that's fair. Yeah.
I
don't know. It's going to be a good game. I will actually, because you guys told me to, I will actually watch this flag football fiasco. I mean, I walked away from that a long time ago. And when they started doing this, I'm like, wait a minute, that's like elementary school stuff we're doing with these professionals. But hopefully it's going to be good. You guys all going to watch, or what you guys got going today?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to cook a big deal, do some barbecue and so yeah, no, absolutely. I won't miss it. I don't care who's in it. I won't miss the Super Bowl. It's the number one, it's the last game of the year. Number two, it's for world dominance, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
Tyler doesn't want to watch, but Tyler's gonna watch. Dude, you're way too quiet this episode. You're way too quiet. Hangovers are real, buddy. Hangovers are real, but
I'm
it's okay.
violently hungover. I have quite the
Violently.
headache.
He said violently. I don't know if I've ever been
Violently.
violently hungover. Holy shit. Yeah.
My
That
head's just
wins.
pounding.
Oh, to quote
My head's
Tyler, that
pounding,
went
and I
straight
gotta
for the
listen to you
throat.
fucking guys in these headphones, so my head's pounding even more.
Nice. Oh, that violently.
hey,
That's a good word
On
to
that
use.
note, guys, let's get to some curtain calls, man. Let's wrap this thing up. We're a week away from the Super Bowl. Pretty excited about that. But who's got a good curtain call to start us off?
I've got a great one, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Carl Weathers gets my curtain call.
Oh,
Man
absolutely.
passed away day before yesterday.
Yep.
Everybody knows him as Apollo Creed, Action Jackson, Chubbs from Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yep.
You know, this guy, he was on numerous TV shows, in numerous movies, great action star, one of my all-time faves. So Carl Weathers, rest in peace, bud. That's my curtain call.
I'll cheers that all day long. And the other thing too is like for the younger generation, he had a very prominent role in the Mandalorian series, the Star Wars series that's on Disney Plus. Dude, that's huge from Rocky Apollo. Love that.
I don't
Someone
know
else
that I
got
ever
something?
put it together. He was Chubbs and Apollo Creed. I don't
Yeah.
know
Oh,
that
yeah.
I had. When you just said that, I was like, "Holy shit, that is the same guy."
Yep.
Patrick, you got something for us?
Yeah, I just want to I want to echo that as well. I know typically we all come up with our own curtain calls, but I'm also going to ride the coattails on Carl Weathers. A lot of there's Sylvester Stallone posted something on social media. You can tell he was choked up, really wanted to, give his sentiments and his condolences to the family of Carl Weathers. So that was pretty touching. And the one line that I'll remember long before he passed, but there's those one-liners, I'll be back from Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's certain lines that just stick in people's conversation because they're so good during that movie or during that particular movie. But there was one that Carl Weathers said in Action Jackson. Jim brought it up. Was he was getting ready to beat down this big bouncer, and he told him, he said, "I'll hit you with so many lefts you'll beg for a right." And I remember there was, I'm dating myself, but that was back when we were in middle school, high school, and I remember so many. Hey, that we just mess with your buddies. That's what we'd say.
So basically, you're saying, do you use that from time to time?
I
Did you
think I
steal
might
that
have.
quote?
Yeah, more than one occasions, man. I mean, I don't know how intimidating it was when I said that, but I just remember that line. And so, rest in peace, man. He was a class act. I love the guy, and I hope the best for his family. Hope they're dealing with it well. So, cheers to Carl Weathers.
Was he in Predator?
Yes. Yes, he was.
He was in Predator, same guy.
He was in
That's
Predator.
what's iconic to me. What stands out is when him and Arnie pop hands.
Yep.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
arms,
Dude, that's
biceps.
that's like an all-timer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Got a curtain call.
I don't know. I don't have anything better than shouting this dude out. So rest in peace, man. You were more influential, apparently, to me than I even knew. So Carl Weathers, dude. Yeah.
He was
Okay,
just,
so
he
lost a
looked
good
like
one.
he could have been a pro boxer. He looked like
absolutely.
he could have been
Oh
a
my
pro
God.
athlete.
He was.
He was different.
He was
a pro boxer.
Washboard.
But
I mean, he was
Rocky.
just shredded in that Rocky movie, and he was shredded. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he was like an ex-football player. But anyway, so all of us were kind of on the same page because I had that right there that I was going to go with that, but I'm going to go one different. And this guy is an absolute maniac. And I found this by honestly accident. I was surfing around on YouTube, right? And I don't know if it was, you watch something and then something pops up suggested or whatever. They throw the shit at you because why wouldn't they? I watched an episode. Y'all know who Steve-O is?
Yeah.
If you've ever watched Jackass, you talk about the biggest maniac on the planet. This dude has done more terrible things to himself and other people have done to him than should ever happen to any human. All right. But so he's got a podcast and evidently has been out there for years, called Steve-O's Wild Ride. So he's got like this production van. He drives around and interviews stars and people that he knows. It actually, I watched one, and it was with Tommy Lee, the drummer of Motley Crue.
Jesus.
I watched the entire episode, and I'm like, I just watched that for an hour. So Steve-O, whatever it is, man, I still, you scare the shit out of me. Now he is
completely sober.
Absolutely. And he straight up legit was like worse than probably the Motley Crue guys when it came to drugs.
Oh my God, right?
But so I'm going to give this out. The homeboy's clean. He's doing his thing, and he's a podcaster, and damn, Steve-O's Wild Ride. That's my current call on that one, and to Carl Weathers as well.
By the way,
So, gentlemen,
got the buckskins today.
Oh, my man. I like that.
Little buckskin pony.
Tyler's doing his Busch Light. Pat's drinking water.
Okay, we're going buckskins. I'll fucking bust out a gold top. How's that?
I am drinking
a
heavy, coffee
baby.
surprise. Drinking a coffee surprise. I've got coffee in here, Bailey's Irish Cream. I've got a little bit of butter shots because my buddy Lee Morley taught me that. And then I topped it off with a little bit of peppermint schnapps, and it is fan-fucking-tastic. I ain't gonna lie to you. So
basically what you're saying is you're going to be walking on your lips here shortly. You drink too much of that.
Walking at all. That's assuming I'm going to be walking, but in the event that I choose to walk, that's probably a true statement. So
that's fair.
Yes,
all right, gentlemen. Hey, next weekend's a big one. So everyone, thank you guys for joining us again. If you guys need to find us, you can find us on YouTube, Cocktails and Curveballs. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Cocktails and Curveballs. And if you want to hit us up, man, send us an email, cocktailsandcurveballs@gmail.com. And to everybody, until next time, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.